Northwest Cellular starting pitcher Jose Contreras on for his 17th start. Last couple haven't been good. The ERA much higher than he would like. And he's got to get the ball over the plate, especially on that forkball, because that's the thing that's been doing him in. He says he found a mechanical flaw. Hopefully it will work today. So on a red-hot afternoon, trying to win the third straight series at home, I will turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Hawk Harrelson.
All right, Stone Pony, thank you. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So happy you could join us for the rubber match of this three-game set. Contreras has just concluded his warm-up tosses. AJ gets it down to Chris Getz, around the horn to Beckham, and we're just about set for White Sox baseball. Indians come in at 47 and 63, hitting at 265 as a club with a 5.11 ERA.
A look into the Indians dugout at pitcher David Huff will give you an idea just how hot and humid it is here today.
So here's Sizemore. Grady hitting at 233, 15 homers. He's driven in 57. And the first pitch of the ball game taken for a strike. Sizemore 10 for 36 lifetime off Contreras, and of the 10 hits, 7 of them have stayed in the park. Outfield for the most part straight up. Little chopper gets, and that's out number 1. This is the 15th meeting of the year between these two clubs. In the first 14, Sox have won 8 of them.
Good way to start off the ball game, throwing a ground ball. And if Jose gets ahead like most pitchers, he's got good enough stuff to be successful, and he always seems to save his best for the Indians. He's throwing very well against them.
Well, we need him this afternoon, more so than anything, to give that bullpen a rest.
It was very important because it's on to Seattle without an off day, 3 straight games, and the bullpen has been used a lot.
Jamie Carroll takes outside, ball 1. 35-year-old veteran hitting at 292, a homer. He's driven in 17.
I'm real surprised that Carroll didn't go in a deal, because he's the kind of player that's very valuable to a winning team.
21 the count. Carroll 2 for 4 in the opener. And that is foul right side, and that's not going to be playable, as Kase will run out of room. The count 1-2. Indians took the opener 6-2. Martin Burley was not on top of his game, but he didn't get any help from his defense. And last night we started off a lot of walks. They jumped off to a 5-1 lead, and the Sox just came back and didn't stop. Won it 8-5. Well, you mentioned in the open, Stone Pony, that Jose had said he had found something down on his side in the bullpen. Last time he told us that, he was real good.
Well, if indeed it keeps him over the top of that forkball, he's going to be a whole lot better. And you're right, when he talked about his mechanics and straightening things out in the pen, he probably at that point reeled off 3 or 4 gems.
He gone.
Jose drops down from the side, able to make that ball sink out of the zone. Carroll, normally a good contact hitter, comes away with no contact.
Asdrubal Cabrera, switch hitting shortstop. Asdrubal hitting at 312, 5 homers. He's driven in 46. 4 for 8 in this series. Alexei on the short hop. Yeah, nice. 1-2-3 inning for Contreras after a half inning of play. It's the Indians nothing and the good guys coming to bat.
Torriegas behind the plate. And Huff on the hill. That ERA way up there, just under 7. As you can see, he's had some problems with left-hand hitters. They have tattooed him to a 377 clip.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. Sox come in at 57 and 54, 2 games back of the Tigers. The last time I checked, we're trailing Minnesota 3-0. Now it's 3-1. First pitch strike. Pod's hitting at 298, 4 homers. He's driven in 33.
They're playing in at third base and back at first.
Sox hitting at 262 as a club with a 4.15 ERA. Sox 33 and 26 here at beautiful U.S. Cellular Field. And that is high in the center. That's a can of corn for Sizemore. 1 out.
This is the way that Grady played that ball. Shows you that the wind is going to carry the ball in center and left center. Because that was a routine pop-up, and Sizemore kept drifting back. It turned out to be a 380-foot fly ball.
So nice crowd on hand. Final game of this 11-day, 10-game homestand. All started with the Yankees at 4 games set. Sox took 3 out of 4 from the Pinstripes. Angels came to town. Sox took the first 2. Lost game 3. And have split with the Indians so far. That's high. Get out of here. They're bumping into each other, running into all kinds of tarps down there.
Carroll and Cabrera thought they had a shot at that ball.
Roger Boss says he's something. He's got that tarp trained.
Put it in a perfect spot, too. There's Jamie Carroll tracking this ball all the way, but runs out of room and length.
0-2 the count.
Good effort by Cabrera as he reaches in, but comes up a little short.
And that's low. And we certainly want to thank all of you Sox fans out there who yesterday bid on those 7 magnificent items. Raised a total of $35,750 for White Sox charities. Off the end of the bat, out and around that one. Carroll quickly on the move, makes the play. 2 down. So with 2 out, let's check out our Heineken picks to click this afternoon. Jim and Jill, our director and the crew, they went with Konerko. Lisa, Larry, and Steve, they're going to go with Gordon Beckham. And a very special, huge White Sox fan, Michael Anderson and I. Michael, you and I are going to go with Jermaine Dye, who's at the plate right now. Try to get him out of this mini funk he's been in.
Well, he had last night off, and many times when you do that, you come back rejuvenated. Let's hope it happens with Jermaine here today.
Takes first pitch strike. And that ball hit into left center field. Sizemore with a dive and makes the catch, robbing Jermaine Dye of extra bases. And that'll do it after 1, no score. Good play.
Sox game or visit whitesox.com. Tremendous play by Grady Sizemore. This looked to be a two-base hit. I think Jermaine thought also it was going to fall, but Sizemore has other ideas. That time it helped to be a left-hander, and he makes a sterling catch.
So here's Chu. It'll be Chu, Peralta, and Valbuena. First pitch strike. Chu, 1 for 5 in the series. Comes in hitting at .294, 13 homers, 61 driven in.
On base percentage pretty good as Chu will take his walks.
Another strike. Good hitters take their walks.
Way to keep the batting average up because it limits your 0 for 4s and 5s if you take a couple of walks.
Now, there are always exceptions to that. You got a lot of good hitters who don't like to walk, but most of them do. That's up high. Got one upstairs. They got away with it, and also want to sound a big White Sox shout out. Thank you very much to Bill Wren, Chris Newcart, Ron Watula, and all the great folks out at Boone Creek Golf Club in McHenry for the $10,000 that we raised for White Sox charities at that golf outing. Had Sean the Beach Pfister, 3-time national long drive champion there. Joe Hyduke, former long drive champion. Well, thanks a lot, Bill Wren, Chris Newcart, and Ron Watula. Way outside, full count. Payoff pitch into left field, and that's going to be a base hit. So good speed aboard. He's 15 for 16 in stolen bases, and I would be shocked if he's not off.
Well, it's a perfect double play combination with Peralta up. He's grounded into 14 of them. With that in mind, Eric Wedge, I'm sure, is going to run with Chu. Jose's going to have to do a better job of holding base runners. He's got to hold the ball, vary his times, occasionally try to at least let him know that you're thinking about him by throwing over to first.
I don't think he can do it. We've seen it too long. What you're saying is right on the money. Drop down strike to Peralta. 3 for 8 with 3 RBIs in the series. Johnny hitting at .273, 9 homers, 59 driven in. Well, you know, you've seen them. I have too. Stone Pony over the years. They're guys who just cannot hold runners on. But for the most part, most of those guys are in Cooperstown.
Those were the great ones. Greg Maddux is one of those guys that you could steal on him. He just was pretty intent on the next guy not getting a base hit.
Easy to run on guys with big leg kicks like Tom Seaver and Nolan Ryan. Meanwhile, you didn't score. There you go. And that is popped up. They're going to get double play right here easily. There's where you get, you ought to be doubled up when you don't pick up the ball.
On a hit and run, it's essential to look back. And look back and pick up the baseball, something that Chu didn't do. Now, if it's a straight steal, then Peralta shouldn't have been swinging. But on the hit and run, you don't pick up the baseball, you run into a double play.
So here's Valbuena hitting at .234, 5 homers, 15 knocked in. Valbuena 2 for 4 in the series. Coming last night.
That bat's cracked.
Another $95 bill just bit the dust. But you know, that's not my biggest pet peeve, but certainly one of them. That is just something that, to me, is inexcusable and should not happen. I love it when it happens for the opposition, but not for our guys. When they take off, whether it be a straight steal or a hit and run, you still pick up the baseball. And there's a little soft line drive, and we get a bad base running double play to help us out after an inning and a half, no score. Paulie hitting at 288, 21 long ones, and 70 knocked in. Paulie 2 for 8 in the series, but boy, you talking about getting dinged up. He's dinged up. He has been hit 3 times. Can't get that one. In the last few days, he's got a nice bruise mark on his left, just above his hip. Got hit just above the wrist, drilled by Masterson yesterday on a 3-0 pitch after he'd already run a couple in close. That Paulie didn't like that call.
Well, I'm kind of surprised, number one, that the ball is still in the game, because Torregas threw it over Huff's head and the ball hit the grass, and I'm sure it has a bit of a scuff on it. Pitchers like that, but hitters usually say take a look at it to the umpire and they'll throw it out.
One and two the count. One thing about Konerko, he will play through some pain.
I think most of the veterans feel the same way. They don't want to leave the lineup unless they truly are either in a cast or otherwise really hurt, especially this time of year when you know you're playing for something, and that's the division title and the playoffs. It's going to take more than getting hit a few times to get Paulie out of there.
And a 1-2. Bertucci boys in the house. Very resplendent again. Mercy. And the 2-2. Good eye. Full count. Brzezinski on deck. Had him out in front, pulled a string on him.
Host a private party on the U.S. Cellular Field fan deck in center field. The package includes 150 game tickets, access to the fan deck for the game, and an all-inclusive food and drink package for the first 90 minutes of the game. Reserve the fan deck today. Call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com for more details.
Here's AJ. AJ hitting at .314, 11 homers. He's driven in 32. Takes ball one, and talking about the Bertucci boys, I'm going to send out a big White Sox hello and happy birthday with love to Marie Bertucci, 91 years young today.
I echo that. Happy birthday.
2-0 the count. Ball hit hard into center field. Sizemore going back. Stretch. Get up in that wind. Stretch. You can put it on the ball. Yeah. It's stretched. Sox lead it 1-0.
We told you coming into this game that Huff has had a lot more problems with left-handers than right-handers, and it was a left-hander. Ford home run replay shows a fastball up and out over the plate. The wind blowing out to center. Sizemore has it hit off his glove and go over the wall. I think he probably believes he should have had this. Would have been a terrific play, but it hit off the side of the glove and bounced out.
He'll tell you he should have had it. Any good outfielder, if they get to it and they can get that glove on it, they will tell you they should make the play. And he's a good outfielder. So here's Carlos. Takes ball one. Quentin hitting it. .226. 11 homers, 27 driven in.
It's a 14th home run given up by Huff, who leads the staff in that department. If you're going to be a pitcher who gives up a lot of home runs, this is not the day for it at this ballpark, because this is really lively today.
Yeah, on days like this, it's like playing those par fives downwind. Short.
Well, you're always home on two.
They play short. There's the strike, and the count 3-1. And there's ball four. Happens so often to young pitchers. They throw a home run and walk the next guy.
Pitching coach Carl Willis was saying that Huff just hasn't been spotting his fastball well enough, because he comes in with an ERA just under 7. And he's got a pretty good interior defense behind him. And the outfield, anchored by Sizemore, is not bad defensively.
So here's Kotsay. Mark at .233, a homer. He's driven in 6. Takes first pitch strike. Good check, and of course with that home run by Pierzynski, the Alex Nelius family will donate $100 to White Sox charities for every Sox home run hit throughout the course of the season. That is number 134, so $13,400 donated by Alex Nelius in loving memory of Ursula. There's a shot by Mark. Get to the wall. No, Drew cuts it off. So they're going to have to hold Quentin at third on the double by Kotsay. Kotsay is going to be a big element in us winning this division.
Well, it looked like a very minor deal at the time when some of the other blockbusters were going around, but Kenny Williams did a real nice job in securing Mark Kotsay. He's always been able to swing the good bat. Only problems he's had when he's not swinging the bat well, that's when he's had some back problems, but he's entirely healthy and now starting to hit some rockets.
Well, you can't make those kind of deals all the time, but you go back. Kenny, look at what he did by targeting Juan Uribe, getting him, coming over. Look at the job he did. Kenny's good at that. Very good. As there's strike one to Alexei, who's hitting .268. Kenny's good at just about every aspect of it.
It's pretty tough to make that blockbuster deal that makes the team 10 to 15% better. But you make 3 or 4 moves that makes you 2% better, and that's what Kenny has done with the backup catcher with Kotsay.
There's a little looper. 2 coming on. Can make the play. Everybody moves up. Quinn scores. Kotsay in the third, and the Sox lead at 2-0 on the base hit by Alexei.
RBI number 48. And Alexei, who was hitting in the 2 spot before he got hurt, now filling the 8th spot. And gets this one off the end of the bat. He couldn't have thrown it out there in a better place. Unlike football, the ground can cause a fumble. And that's what happened. Goes as a base hit. And the lead extended to 2. As Carl Willis goes out there to talk with Huff, who's really had a tough year.
Chris Getz will be the hitter of Brian Gorman now. This is not a day that umpires like to have a lot of visits to that mound.
No, especially lengthy visits with nobody up in the bullpen.
Carl Willis is a good pitching coach. He has had his share of trips to that mound this year.
When you take a look at the configuration of the starting rotation, that's been in flux. But the bullpen has been something with Cleveland that just hasn't stayed the same for even as much as 2 weeks.
So here's Getz hitting at .270, couple of homers. Takes first pitch strike. Chris 2 for 4 in this series with an RBI. 1 down. Kotsay at third. Ramirez at first. Breaking ball well outside.
There's not a lot of margin for error with Huff's stuff because that fastball tops out maybe 91. If you miss your spot, then you've got some big problems.
Good eye right there by Chris. And the count 2-1. Here's a solid player. At fastball, and that's going to be Souvenir left side. 4 rows back. And not too much time. I was listening to MLB this morning, just got out of the shower, and I thought I heard it right. The Yankees, since the All-Star break, 17-5.
And they've taken to dominating Boston. I think the one stat that was put out there was that Boston has never come back to capture the division from the Yankees.
Yeah, they said that.
Yeah, at 5.5 games or further back, they have never rallied to take the division.
Well, the thing I got to chuckle about, those 5 victories, we got 3 of them.
Yeah.
We could have had 4. But CC was just a little too tough for us that day.
Well, you put, and he was too tough for Boston, I believe, yesterday, but you put this homestand with a victory today at 7-3, knowing that the Yankees and the Angels were the first 2 teams, you would have taken it and not even played the homestand.
Ramirez spun his wheels a little bit. Just looks a second. That's going to get the job done as Kotsay scores, and it's a 3-0 Sox lead.
RBI number 28. And we talked about productive outs. That was a productive out. Hit too slowly to turn 2. Getz has tremendous speed. And it's a 3-run lead early in this one.
And a man in scoring position. Base hit right here really would take some wind out of that sail. Breaking ball way outside. Made a good pitch on him. Got it in. Tied him up. Pops him up. And that'll do it. But two more. Check that. 3 runs cross the plate. A crooked number. A nice crooked number. We'll go to the third leading. 3-0.
The Sox Drawer at csnchicago.com, brought to you by Toshiba.
If I was a blogger, I would certainly chuck his blog.
There's no question. I mean, our Chuck has one of the finest blogs in the business.
Gotta have.
Yeah, you would think that.
Well, how about your tweeter, though?
The tweets are doing nicely.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, aggravating a few people, but, you know, that's part of it.
If I want to tweet your blog or tweet your tweet, how would I do that?
Well, you can receive it.
Receive it?
Yeah, by, I guess, going on the internet. It's under Baseball Stone, and you somehow get to it magically.
Well,
I haven't figured that out yet.
Go on the internet, you just lost me.
Me too.
Strike to Trevor Crow. It'll be Crow, Marte, and Torregas. Here in the top of the third, 3-3-0 for our Sox, 0-1-0 for their Indians.
And Jose, for the most part, getting the ball over today. He stayed ahead of the hitters. He realizes, and I'm sure that Don Cooper talked to him about, you've got to go deep into this game, and to do that, you have to keep your pitches to a minimum. Get him to swing early in the count.
Made a good pitch on him right there. Kotze, piece of cake for Mark.
That's another aspect of the acquisition of Mark Kotze. He's always been a much better than average defender at first base. He can play all 3 positions in the outfield. And he's as good a pinch hitter as there is in the game of baseball.
I know over the years he has hurt us, and he has hurt us in center field a lot. He's a terrific center fielder.
Well, that versatility that Ozzie has with Mark Kotze is something that is very welcome, especially this time of year when you want to give some guys days off.
Andy Marte takes ball 1. He's 0 for 4 in this series. Comes in hitting at 190. And the count 2-0.
Detroit must have been a little aggravated that Minnesota had taken the early lead, because they are now leading 6-3.
Bottom of the 5th. There's the strike. Softly hit down to Gordon.
The first 25,000 fans in attendance at each home game will receive a Mighty Bites game card. Purchase any Mighty Bites product and get one free at participating local retailers. Not much better than Mighty Bites.
What is that? Mighty Bites?
Mighty Bites, yes. Don't know much about them, but I'm sure they're terrific.
Here's Wyatt. Soriegas. Wyatt, 26 years old. Takes a strike, 1-1. He was born in Fairfax, Virginia. 24th round pick in the 04 first year player draft.
So far,
the count 1-2.
His bat hasn't caught up with the glove yet. He was just called up when Victor Martinez was traded to Boston. So now he's the backup to Kelly Shopik. And Shopik was the backup to Victor Martinez.
Pretty good rip at that. Count hangs at the ball in 2 strikes. Well, last year combined between Buffalo and Akron hit 14 home runs and drove in 60.
It's not a bad year for a guy that comes up and is going to be your backup.
Uh-oh. 1-2-3 inning. After 2.5, it is 3-0 good guys. Gordon grounded out to his counterpart, Johnny Peralta. And that is fouled into the LG Skyline Club seats.
Gordon getting the job done recently. And with the June 4th call-up, he's got 40 runs batted in.
Made a good pitch. Got in on the fist. Cabrera. Well, he likes that moment. I love guys that like the moment. Some guys don't like that moment.
He's got a good feeling for driving in runs by knowing what the opposition's giving him. Infield in just yesterday in last night's game. He hit a fly ball. He said he was looking to hit something in the air. He got it, and he drove home the run.
Well, that's the state of mind. Driving in runs is a state of mind. And to be a good RBI guy, you have got to want it. You got to be sitting over in that on-deck circle if there's a man on third and nobody out. And it sounds bad, but it's not. You got to hope that the guy in front of you doesn't get him in so you can get him in. That's the kind of attitude you got to have. It's like having that killer instinct.
Well, that's what Gordon has had since coming to the major leagues, and I'm sure he exhibited that in his college years and probably before that. Just not arrogant, but really secure in his abilities.
Backhanded, peg. Boy, he reminds me so much of Carlos Guillen when he was the shortstop with Seattle.
Cabrera's a good player.
Yes.
And he's had a terrific year, not only with the bat, but this is his first year full-time in the major leagues at shortstop. This is going to be the 87th game he's going to play. He's made just 6 errors. You don't want to get too far on the grass because you want to take that ground ball before it gets to the grass and takes an unusual hop, and Cabrera did just that.
You know, but getting back to Beckham's thought process, as Paulie stands in, Paulie struck out on a 3-2 changeup. Probably the best pitch that Puff has thrown. Oh, he just missed it this one. Get up in that way and go. Stretch. Nope. Right in front of the track, on the track now. In front of old Luke Appling. Makes the catch. He just missed it. And we're into the 4th.
Game.
In Baltimore, that happened. So here we go to the 4th inning. Sox lead at 3-0. It'll be the top of the order. Sizemore, Carroll, and Cabrera. Jose gave up the base hit to Chu in the 2nd inning, leading off, and then a little pop-up as Chu was off with the pitch. He didn't pick up the ball. He got doubled up, so he has faced the minimum. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Tee off with current and former White Sox team members, sports celebrities, and media personalities at Harborside International Golf Center for the annual Chicago White Sox Charities Field of Greens golf outing presented by Miller Lite. That's Thursday, August 20th. For more information or to book a foursome, call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com.
Jamie Carroll called out on strikes. First pitch. 0-1 to count.
This is a very good day for first pitch outs. And in lieu of that, if they want to take the first pitch, throw another strike, make it a second pitch out.
1-1 to count to Carroll. A couple of veterans facing one another. Jamie at 35, Contreras at 37. And that's a can of corn.
So far, 37 pitches for Jose, and we got 2 outs in the 4th. So he's doing what you really have to do on a very hot, humid day, and he's doing it for a team that has a tired pen, and Jose realizes that.
Well, his last few starts, he's had that many in one inning.
It's been tough control-wise, especially with that forkball, but not today.
There's strike 1. Cabrera hit a ground ball up the middle that Alexei made a good play to get him.
Cabrera, switch hitter, one of 2 on the ball club, and he's a better hitter from the left side than he is from the right. Also, all of his power comes from the left side. That's how he looks out at Contreras.
High and wide, 2-1. Hot day here in the beautiful city. Three and 1 to count with Shin-Sin Chu on deck. And there's the base hit. Count got him.
Cabrera is a pretty good base runner and most likely will be going.
$14 for 18 in stolen bases. Stole 2 yesterday. There's a strike on the inside corner. Count evens at 1 for the 26-year-old talented outfielder out of Busan, South Korea.
That one, I think, hit Brian Gorman as the bat goes out to second base.
And he's still got the handle in his hand. Well, you see things today you've never.
Well, especially on a ball that was fouled back into the umpire, you don't expect the head of the bat to go out on the outfield grass at second base.
I mean, that's. And we thought we had bad wood. When I played 9 years in the big leagues, I never saw that happen one time. Never. Not even close.
The bat designs have changed a bit. And Hawk, over the years, you've seen it where guys used to be proud of the fact they swung a 40-ounce bat, which obviously had a big enough handle to be commensurate with the wood in the head of the bat. But now guys are going down in ounces, 32, 33 ounces, about where most of the guys are right now.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference. I mean, that's a thinner handle, most likely.
Difference.
Yeah.
Huge difference. Paul and I were talking about it prior to the game. He had a bat he was looking at. Looked like it had good wood in it. The grain was nice, but it was light. Here goes the runner. No chance. No, but they're, you know, I think Stevie, I told you the story about Henry Aaron. Played 24 years in the big leagues and never broke a bat in a game. In a game. Broke some in batting practice, but never in a game.
That's really astonishing.
Well, it is.
You can't go through 2 games without breaking a bat these days.
2-2. Just got a piece of it. I went through 1 season without breaking a bat. I went through another season breaking 1.
I don't think I broke a bat.
But the difference being is that you couldn't jam me. So that means you show me here you can't jam, and I'll show you a bad hitter. So when you got it inside, somebody in the third base dugout of the seats was in trouble, because that's out of play. But no, I used anywhere from 35 to 40 ounces, and a lot of guys used heavy bats.
Yeah, that was kind of the norm at that point, and then people started to realize that it wasn't mass, but velocity through the strike zone that's going to take the ball a long way.
Well, if you can combine mass plus velocity,
sure,
now you're talking about something. Good comebacker. Underneath the Katse. Nice pitch right there by Jose. And we'll go to the bottom of the 4th. It is still 3-0 Sox.
History to hit 4 home runs in a game, and the answer, one of the most popular Indians of all time, Rocky Colavito, June 10th, 1959.
One of them went all the way out of the ballpark
At
Memorial Stadium.
the old Memorial Stadium.
Yeah,
that was a blast.
Yeah, I've only heard of 2 going all the way out. Frank Robinson hit one all the way out. As here's AJ. He's 1 for 1. Picked up his 12th homer with 1 out in the 2nd inning. AJ now 3 for 4 lifetime off Huff with 2 homers. If you missed it, poof.
Huff got that fastball up and out over the plate and into the jet stream right off the glove of Grady Sizemore.
1-1 to count. Huff's going to get over there like he should, and that's out number 1. But, you know, getting back to the weight of the bat, I have a lot of people every year ask me, Hawk, you know, my son's 12 years old, my son's 15 years old. How heavy a bat should he use? Well, there's no definitive answer for that. The definitive answer that I've come up with in my 50 years in this game is if your son has strong hands, let him use a heavier bat. The weight of the bat should be to the commensurate with the strength of your hands. Now, if you ever pick up a bat that feels too heavy, put it down immediately. That ball hit high. Coe is going to run out of room.
Well, he jumped into the stands. So you applaud the effort, but that ball was about 4 rows back. I'm not sure why he's jumping into the seats exactly.
Well, why does the bull jump over the fence?
He jumped in the seats into a fan with no chance to catch this ball. I mean, this is about 10 feet from him when he leaped in.
Well, like he caught an elbow, too. Look.
What's he doing out there?
Strike in the count 0-2. And once in a big White Sox shot out to Bill and Oni Wren from Crystal Lake. Big White Sox fans. One out, 1-2 the count to Carlos. Sox will board their charter after this game, head on out to the West Coast. Seattle for 3, off day, and then Oakland for 3.
That one just missed Carlos, who was hit in last night's game, but on the appeal at first base, it was Brian Gorman who said he actually swung the bat.
Which he didn't even come close to swinging
No.
the bat. There's a base hit. Nice piece of hitting. Good at bat right there by Carlos. You just got to hope he stays healthy for the next 7 weeks. If he does, we're going to win this thing.
Well, Carlos does a nice job of staying back because this is a straight change in a good spot. This is actually out of way. It might have been a touch off the plate. But if you keep your hands back, usually good things happen, and he did.
Carlos changes the whole culture of our offense. The whole complexion. That's a. After the homer by A.J., Carlos had walked back in the second. Then the double by Kotsay down the right field line. A shot. And he came around to score as well as A.J.
Well, from a pitching standpoint, Hawk, I never liked big, strong hitters who hit down in a crouch because it took away a good portion of the strike zone from me and made me come to him in a spot where I wasn't comfortable. I didn't want to keep the ball down, but crouching hitters make you do that.
Ball hit hard. Perfect. Don't get in a pickle, Carlos. All right. Ball hit hard by Kotsay right to Marte. And that'll do it. We're into the 5th. It is still 3-0 good guys. Top of the 5th inning, 3-0 good guys, and let's continue on for a second. Stone Pony, what you were talking about, you didn't like strong hitters in a crouch. Well, one of your biggest weapons in your arsenal was knowing how to pitch up.
Yeah, the high fastball, which they just looked at. Then I had a problem, because now I got to go away from my strength and keep the ball down to them. Cecil Cooper was the best example with the Red Sox. He was a stand-up hitter, got to Milwaukee, adopted almost a Rod Carew style, but with big power.
Cooper just wore you out, huh?
Well, he had 5 home runs off me, which was more than anybody else hit. Not that it was that difficult to hit him off me, but he hit him quickly. I think he hit him in a 2-year span.
1-0 pitch to Peralta. There's the strike. Johnny popped up into that 4-3 double play back in the 2nd inning. Bad base running by Chu. Now, he wouldn't agree with that. If you missed it, he took off with the pitch, did not pick up the ball. The ball was a little soft pop up to Getz. He had no clue where it was and easily doubled off. That's bad base running.
One of the keys to the play is nobody in the middle infield alerted him that there was going to be a play in the infield. By the time Getz caught it, no chance for Chu to get back.
Chu is a talented player. Outfield slightly to the right. The 1-2 pitch. Good job by Peralta not to chase that one. Drop down. Broken bat, base hit.
If you can't watch your White Sox on Comcast Sportsnet, you can always catch the game on your computer with MLB.tv. The ultimate baseball experience featuring 100 out-of-market games a week live on your computer. For more details, visit WhiteSox.com, where baseball is always on.
Top of the 7th at Comerica Park. Detroit leading Minnesota 6-5.
And the Twinkies are trying to come back in that one. They were down 6-3.
I told you how I felt about that series.
Yeah, you wanted Detroit to sweep them.
Yeah. I'm more worried about Minnesota than I am Detroit.
Well, Minnesota added Pavano, who in his first start outdueled Verlander easily. And that was a big addition because they were missing one starting pitcher.
Well, we got 6 games left with each of them. I don't mind playing 6 games, which we don't have to, in Comerica Park. And now there's a base hit by Valbuena. If JD comes up with it cleanly, may take a shot at him at third. Meanwhile, he didn't, and trouble a brewing here in the top of the 5th. Runners at the corners and nobody out. Get out of this one 1 run and you've done your job. Got to forget about that man at third.
Crowe is the second of 2 pinch hitters. And left-handed, he hasn't been near as effective as he has been right-handed.
Out of play. Crowe. Grounded out to first base his first trip. Gap out there. Bit of a gap out there in right center. Valbuena 1 for 3 in stolen bases. And the count 0-2.
That was a good high fastball thrown right by Crowe. AJ wanted it upstairs. That's exactly where Contreras got it. Perfect pitch.
A little too high.
Jose's got to stay on top of that forkball and pull down on it just like you would a curve. That's what's going to give it the downward motion. When he allows it to slip out of his hands or gets under it just a touch, those are the ones that go floating high and away to the left-hand hitters.
AJ wanted that pitch.
Take another look at it. It is the forkball. It came in high.
Yep. So a full count. There goes the runner. And the bases are loaded. Nobody out. First walk issued by Contreras.
And AJ goes out to have a word with Jose. There you look at the numbers. You do have a pretty good double play man in Andy Marte.
So he's got some work to do. Drop down.
And the bat goes flying again.
Tony Oliva, former outfielder from Minnesota, great hitter. He used to do that in that time zone more by far than anybody. There's a good strike in the count 0-2. Softly hit. First base. Nice pick by Kase, but he calls him safe. So it's a 3-1 ball game. Bases still loaded, nobody out.
This is the third RBI of the year for Marte. Good pick at first base by Kase.
And he beat it.
He did. He was on the bag. So it's a 2-run Sox lead.
The old swinging bunt. So here's Torregas. Struck out his first trip. Takes ball 1. 3-4-0 for our guys. 1-5-0 for their guys. The deep trouble right here. Count evens at 1.
Tony Pena loosening up in the bullpen.
Well, this inning started off broken bat single by Peralta. Valbuena with a solid single, but then the big at bat was Walking Crow after you had him 1-2. Then the swinging bunt by Marte. It's only one ball hit hard. They have a chance to have a big inning. And that ball into left field. Carlos will make the catch. Valbuena scores, and it's a 3-2 ball game.
That's just the second RBI of the year for Torregas. And it cuts the lead to 1.
Back to the top of the order now with Sizemore. Brady twice has grounded out to Chris Getz. Crisp fastball, strike one. Just off the corner.
Upfield playing almost dead straight away. And Alexi's a guy charged with holding Crow close at second base. He's got pretty good speed. You've got to watch his lead.
Well, with Sizemore at the plate, you definitely better know if you're going to take off that you can make it. Managers don't like that scenario. Even if he's got a green light. Would imagine the don't run sign has been put on. One out. The 1-2 pitch. I guess it was high.
Jose tried to heat him up upstairs. He got it there.
Just above the belt. That is a strike. Meanwhile, that is high in the center field. And that is out number 2. Two on, two out. To the third baseman, Jamie Carroll, who was struck out and gone out to right. But you can't ease up. He is a tough cookie. Takes first pitch, strike.
With runners in scoring position, Jamie Carroll has been one of the hottest of all the Indians.
He's a tough out. And that's low. 1-1. What you were talking about earlier is so true. His value to a contender is much greater than it is to Cleveland.
That's why I'm real surprised that nobody came to the Indians for Carroll.
There's a base hit, a shot. Now they're going to wave him around. And
well, you just
Indians
can't
lead at 4-3.
You can't miss the cutoff man there.
He did.
And he did, and that's a couple of times that throw has gone awry. It's a double. RBIs 18 and 19. But you might have a shot at Marte.
They had a shot at it.
If Carlos gets the ball to Ramirez. When you airmail the cutoff man, you've got no shot.
So the Indians with a big crooked number, a 4-spot lead it, and they're still cooking. Here's Cabrera. He's 1 for 2. That inside strike, 1-1. Fork ball gets us the outside edge.
After sailing along through the first 4, 32 pitches so far here in the 5th.
cues that one right off the end of the bat. Outfield about equidistant, not spread out that much. And the count 2-2. Yeah, he had the pitch count well in hand now. The next one will be number 85.
And Pena continues to throw. You know, he's certainly loose enough.
It's hot out there, and he's laboring.
Suddenly, that forkball is not going down. It's just staying up and floating. And
he's not staying behind.
Right.
He's not staying on top. He's getting out there too far, and that because he's probably a little tired in this heat. Big out for him right here against a good hitter. Now here comes Ozzie. Second walk of the game, second walk of the inning. So he has thrown 87 pitches. He goes 4 2/3 innings. He had a 3-0 lead. He'll depart. Sports and a whole lot of fun tuning tomorrow to hear from Chicago Bears running back Garrett Wolfe. Monsters in the Morning with Mike North and Dan Jacobs tomorrow morning from 6 to 9 only on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Tony Pena comes into the game. He inherits Indians at first and second in relief of Jose Contreras. Pena 1-0, ERA 4.63, on for the 13th time. He pitched in the opener of this series, went an inning and a third, struck out 3, didn't give up any hits or runs. There you look at the numbers this year. Solely with the Sox, he came over from the Diamondbacks.
Well, here's Chu. Get it. Atta boy, Chris. Nice play, buddy. And that'll retire the side, but they come up with 4 halfway home, trailing by 1. It'll be Ramirez gets, then back to the top of the order with Scotty Pods. Alexei had a little flare, a little duck snort single to drive in a run back in the second. Bottom of the seventh in Detroit, Minnesota, and the Tigers are tied at 6. One and one to count. And there's a flare. That's going to fall for a base hit as Crow gets over and get it back in. So good speed aboard, but more importantly, the leadoff man aboard.
2 for 2 for Alexei. Doesn't get a big portion of the bat on it, but it's low and in, enough to drop it in front of Crow in left field. So now you do have a pretty decent hit and run situation if Ozzie wants to go to that.
Gets it into a 4-6 fielder's choice, but got the job done. Got a run in. Took that pitch nicely down low, 1-0. Good pitch by Huff. Evens the count at 1.
Tragus has a good but not a great arm behind the plate. Looking over in the dugout between pitches, that might be helping him out with the call sequence.
Ball hit hard but foul. And the count 1-2. 4-6-0 for Cleveland. 3-5-0 for our White Sox. Flips that one out into left field. Crow playing him perfectly. Able to come on and make the catch for out number 1.
Pretty good effort by Trevor Crow. He was playing very shallow, and Cabrera knew he couldn't get to it, but Crow was there to make the play.
So here's Pods. He has gone out to center and he has popped up to right. Takes the bunt, takes the ball. Beckham on deck with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Top of the 9th in Canada. Blue Jays leading Baltimore 7-3. Washington on a roll. They're leading the D-backs 4-1 at home. That's in the bottom of the 5th.
Washington's bidding to win their 8th straight. They're the hottest team in baseball.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that they're deeply buried in last place in the NL East.
There's a shot base hit. So Alexei tried to deke him a little bit. Grady did not fall for it. A bullet off the bat of Scotty Pods, and here comes Beckham.
Sidney hit the ball hard the first time up, and that time line drive rocket. Hit hard enough so that there was no way that Alexei could think about going to third.
He eased into second and then started to turn it on, but he looks like he's still running a little gingerly on that ankle, as well he should be.
Yeah, he got a tremendous break there because it could have been ligament problems or a break, and it was neither.
Gordon takes it right there. And he pops it up. Get back out of here. It will.
That one hit the screen right above Torregas. He never bothered taking off the mask, which is somewhat unusual, but with those hockey masks, not quite as automatic as the conventional catcher's mask. Fortunately, this one hits the screen.
As does Torregas. So Gordon catches a break. Now he's got to cinch it up and hunker down. 0-2 the count. Uh-oh. Perfect double play ball. Sox threaten, can't score, and we'll go to the 6th. Come back and get this one. That'll give us a 7-3 homestand, and then get off that road trip. 3 to Seattle, 3 to Oakland.
Well, last night the Sox were 4 runs down at 5-1, came roaring back 8-5. So 1-run lead, not insurmountable by any stretch of the imagination. But it's up to Tony Pena now to hold down these Indians right where they're at 4 runs.
They batted around last inning, and here's the guy that started it off for him, Peralta, with a broken bat single. That's not a broken bat there. That is a bullet for his 24th two-bagger. That's not a good way for us to start the top of the 6th.
Peralta's always been a pretty good hitter, and he's probably going to be a better hitter now that he knows he's going to be at third base all the time. It's a fastball that Pena wanted inside, didn't quite get it there. Peralta with quick hands and drives it into the corner.
Here's Valbuena. He had a solid single last inning and scored. He's 1 for 2. Fakes a bunt, takes a strike. Well, I've talked to some great pitchers over the years, a lot of them in Cooperstown, and he just made a statement there that they wanted to get it inside but didn't.
Right.
And over the years, I think the consensus of most of the guys that I've talked to is they didn't think so much about where to make a pitch, but where to miss a pitch, especially early in the count. They're going to go to third. Look at Kotsay, would you? Yes. Buy that man a dozen golf balls.
We told you he could really pick it at first base, and there was no hesitation at all because Peralta, who doesn't have good speed, took it for granted that Valbuena hitting to the right side automatically meant that he's going to be safe at third. But Kotsay got to it, took a look, and gunned him down by plenty. Gordon could have had a cup of coffee by the time Peralta arrived at third, and that could turn out to be one of the bigger plays of the game.
He's going to be one of the reasons we win this thing, Mark Kotsay. Put that down here on August 9th. So here's Crow. He had a big at bat last inning. He walked. That loaded the bases with nobody out.
The only way you make that play is if you've anticipated it ahead of time, knowing that if this guy's going to hit one to you, you're going to cut down a guy that you know doesn't have great speed.
And a lot of times that first baseman in that situation will whistle over to the third baseman and say, heads up, buddy.
Yeah.
And soon as Beckham put it on him, Kotsay looked at Beckham and pointed to him like, nice going.
Way to be where I need you to be. Trying to bunt his way on, fouls it back.
Outfield slightly to the left. That walk last inning by Crow came after Jose was ahead of him 1-2. And there's a strike. 0-2 the count. Valbuena, just a short lead. That's high and wide. Pitching matchups tomorrow. Gavin Floyd for us. Southpaw Luke French. Luke French coming over from the Tigers in that Washburn deal. That's tomorrow. That game will be over Comcast Sportsnet Plus. And let's check out the rest of those probables. There you see on Tuesday, Johnny Danks. They've got him listed, Jason Vargas, here on our other sheet, but to be announced. And now we understand Vargas has been sent down. So to be announced on Tuesday against Johnny Danks. Wednesday, Burley against the King, Felix Hernandez, some of the best right-handed stuff in baseball.
I think it was pretty interesting that Jack Zarincek, who's a new general manager, was saying that he actually did have some talks centered around Hernandez and moving him. That might be a tremendous mistake.
Well, I was getting ready to say he might not have made it out of Seattle. There's a bullet. Bye. And now here's the throw to third, not in time.
Marte is now 2 for 3. Runners at the corners and 2 outs. 4-man just called back from the minor leagues.
Marte, that infield single, a swinging bunt last inning. First pitch strike to Wyatt. Torregas struck out and has a sacrifice fly. 1-1 to count. Well, yeah, that would have been a big mistake.
Well, he was looking at a three-way deal. There were some other big names very much involved in it. At the end of the day, though, he is right there in Seattle with a big record.
Well, on the other side of that page, though, let's go with Jack. Gotta hurry. Gotta hurry. Can't make the play. The run scores.
Well, you got a slow running catcher going down there, and I thought Tony should have been able to corral that one. He couldn't, and then Alexei had the ball drop out of the glove.
Man.
That one gets by, but you still got some time here.
All right, so here's Sizemore. 5-3, Cleveland on top. First pitch strike. They're getting back to Zrinzik. Possibility of trading Felix Hernandez. I've never seen a player you couldn't trade. Well, in baseball. I saw one in basketball, but not in baseball.
Yeah, Michael would have been hard to move in basketball, I think.
Yeah. That ball lined hard into the left. Carlos is there with the little soft infield single. Scores another run, and we trail it by 2.
AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered.
Jermaine Dye will lead it off. Michael Anderson's picked to click this afternoon. Jermaine 0 for 2, but Grady Sizemore took a double, at least a double away from him with a diving catch in the first inning.
Here's our Mercedes-Benz E-Class Attention Assist of the Game. This is the great play by Sizemore. This looked like a two-base hit when he left the bat, but Sizemore takes it away.
Strike on the outside corner and count 1-2. Come on, JD, start us off right here, buddy. Let's get something going. Good eye right there. 5-9-0 for them, 3-6-0 for us.
He's got line break loosening in the pen.
Slowly hit. Carroll.
So White Sox versus the Orioles, August 22nd at 6:05. Fans will enjoy postgame fireworks presented by Van Kampen Investments. For tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com.
So here's Paulie. Paulie 0 for 2 last time up. He just missed one. High, towering drive deep into left field. Takes first pitch strike.
Huff is starting to get that breaking ball as well as the straight change over early in the count. Threw a good curveball to Dye. Just threw a good changeup to Konerko.
Well, since that 3-run second inning, he has really pitched well. High pop up right side. Valbuena now being called off by Chu, which is the correct play. 2 down.
Well, that would have been a real tough play for either Valbuena or Marte. Chu came on, called them both off, and made the play easily.
AJ is 1 for 2, a homer, his 12th. Back in the second inning.
He's trying to hit another one right there, but swung through a high fastball.
AJ says, you hadn't been giving my pitchers that pitch.
Pretty good curveball. Might have been up a touch.
It was. Or if it is, as I said, he hadn't been. AJ said, why me? Pokes out one out into left field. And that's a fair ball. Down into the corner. So AJ will pick up his 15th two-bagger, coming with 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and here comes Carlos Quentin.
That time it was a fastball, and Huff tried to throw it by him up in the zone, but couldn't quite get it there. The ball stays in play because the fan doesn't touch it.
Here's Carlos. He has walked, scored, and singled. Takes fastball strike on the outside corner. One and one to count. Big pitch right here. And it goes to Carlos. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, if Huff is going to continue to stay away with the fastball, Carlos can do what he did last night, which was double into right center field and drove home a couple of runs.
Or just take him in those right center field bleachers.
Bad idea.
2-2. What that 1-1 pitch does, if it goes for you as a hitter, whereas 2-1 now, you can pick and choose what you want to try to do with one pitch. It goes against you, and now you're 1-2 rather than 2-1.
And now it's a defensive at bat.
Now you're at the mercy.
Draga's out to talk with Huff. Now most likely he will not give a sign telling Huff exactly what he wants in this situation. Probably from that man, Eric Webb.
And that's just foul. Dadgummit. $34,063 in the house.
Carlos, you can do a little house cleaning around home plate. The wrapper has gotten loose.
Two out, and the 2-2 pitch.
Huff is up to 84 pitches. And he's right at where he averages. 5 2/3 innings per start.
Carlos a little upset with himself right there. Sizemore drifts over in front. Cole makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. 2-out double by Pierzynski. Goes for naught. We're into the 7th.
In place of Contreras, gives way to Linebrink. And there you look at the numbers.
Carroll, Cabrera, and Chu here in the top of the 7th. You're just tuning in. Sox with all 3 runs coming in the 2nd. And Contreras sailing right along through 4. Gets to the 5th at a broken bat single by Peralta. Solid single by Valbuena. A walk after having Trevor Crowe 1-2. He walked him to load the bases. Then a swinging bunt by Marte knocked in a run. Sacrifice fly by Torrega. And then a big 2-run double by Jamie Carroll. First pitch strike. That was a big hit of the ball game thus far. A 2-out, 2-run double.
Carroll's been pulling the ball more in this series than we've seen all year.
And the count 2-1. Gap out there in left center. Back him at the cut of the grass at third. And that pitch is into the LG Skyline Club seats. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the Sox do it 2 days in a row. Yesterday trailed at 5-1, came back and won at 8-5. And a full count.
This is not a man you want to walk ahead of Cabrera, Chu, and Peralta. Peralta swinging it real well today.
Well, he can walk. He can slow it up and walk around the bases as it's a home run in this 6-3.
It's only the second home run of the year for Jamie Carroll. He's got 20 runs driven in, 3 of them today. Here's our Ford home run replay. Fastball on the inner portion, and we told you Carroll was pulling the ball more in this series for whatever reason. He's had a lot of luck with it.
Cabrera is 1 for 2. More pitches you let a guy see, the more dangerous he becomes.
There is no doubt about that.
Especially when you're basically hard. Top of the 9th in Detroit. Tigers leading Minnesota 8-6. Change of speeds on him. Grabs the strike. And the count 2-2. Six 10-0 for the Indians, 3-7-0 for our Sox. And another full count.
He took away a double.
Wow. Is he throwing some leather today or what?
This is headed down the line. It's going to go into the corner for 2 at least. Mark Kotze right there, quick toward the line, and he makes the play.
So here's Chu. He's 1 for 3. And there's a shot down into the left field corner. So he picks up his 26th double. Yeah, it's when you come at somebody hard.
Well, you only have one way to fool them, and that's location.
You better have pinpoint. You better be able to throw it to a teacup.
Somewhere along the line, Scott has lost either a good splitter or any semblance of a breaking ball that he has a whole lot of confidence in. Consequently, one-pitch pitchers are guys that primarily have one pitch. Unless it's astonishingly good, they're going to get hit.
Well, there's 2 ways for it to be astonishingly good. If it's plus 95 or you throw it through the teacup.
Yep.
That's out of play right side. Peralta is 2 for 3. A single. Started off that 4-run fifth with a broken bat single. Then he had a hard double last inning.
One of the big problems for a lot of pitchers is that when their velocity isn't overwhelming, you can't get away with the mistakes. Each mile an hour lets you get away with a little bit more. But Scott's fastball has been pretty straight, so consequently it doesn't have the late movement, and when he does make mistakes, most of the hitters are right on it.
There goes the runner. But new. He is now 16 for 17 in stolen bases.
That comes from the scouting report, and that is Sox pitchers don't take, as a rule, 2 looks back to second base. And Chu taking advantage of this. There's one look. AJ might have had a shot at him, but didn't secure the baseball.
Good action by Chu.
Yeah, he shouldn't be in fair territory, though.
I don't think he started off.
No, I don't think he had much of a choice.
Fair
As he
territory.
comes down the line, and then, whoa, I'm pretty close. That ball just missed, hitting him in the helmet.
That's into left field. Chu's going to tag, and he's going to give it a go. Here's the throw. He gone. Beautiful peg by Carlos. Mercy. Do it, Q. Yes. 7th inning stretch. We need 3 to tie. Beautiful peg. We trail it by 3 here in the bottom of the 7th. We have 9 outs to work with. Mark Kotsay will lead it off. He'll be followed by Alexei Ramirez and Chris Getz, lower third of our order. Kotsay been to the plate twice and just hammered it both times. Once for a double and once into a double play. He has also, if you missed his defensive play today, thrown some outstanding leather.
Had a good day at first base and a good day swinging the bat. And when you do get your opportunity, and he will get probably more of these, and make the most of it.
3-0 the count. Let's go right here, boys. There's one.
The bullpen has just started to work for the Indians. At the 88 pitch mark.
Ball hit into center field. Caught a little towards the end of the bat.
Prorated White Sox full season ticket plans are still available. Fans who purchase the remainder of this season and place a deposit on 2010 season tickets can guarantee tickets for all potential postseason games. Call 312-674-1000 or visit WhiteSox.com to reserve your seats today.
Here's Alexei. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI. A little duck snort single in the 2nd to knock in a run. A little soft single in the 5th to left. That's not a soft one. That is way back. He looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. Number 12 for Ramirez. And it's a 6-4 ball game.
Alexei's second run batted in today, giving him 49 this year. He's now 3 for 3. And we'll see how much patience Eric Wedge has with Huff.
None.
Yes, it appears. I don't think so.
Here he comes.
Got that ball down in the zone and hammered it out. Our Ford home run replay.
So Huff gave up 3 in the 2nd, then pitched well. Throws a home run here in the bottom of the 7th. He departs, going 6 in the 3rd, and we'll be back.
Tony Sipp comes into the game at 2-0, ERA 4.66, on for the 26th time. The only blemish really on his record is a lot of walks, 16 and 19 in the 3rd innings. Patience is the key against Sipp, who has a hard slider, and will have a floating strike zone for that hard slider most of the time.
Chris Getz 0 for 2 with an RBI this afternoon. Takes first pitch strike. Marte on a little soft two-hopper, and that's out number 2.
Andy Marte did a nice job of smothering that short hop. It would have been very easy to allow that ball to play him. Instead, he came in, made the play himself. He's a converted third baseman. That's where he's been the majority of his career. But not in Cleveland, not with Peralta there to stay.
Boy, he came in with some pub, didn't he?
Marte? Oh, yeah. With a few different teams.
Big time. Pides is 1 for 3. Takes down low. Beckham on deck. Come on, Scotty Pides, get on for Gordon. A short, quick swing on it and tie this thing up. Nope, into left field. But the home run by Alexei Ramirez will go to the 8th, trailing now by 2. And Marte to face Scott Linebrink.
Certainly want to retire Valbuena at the top because he's a guy that will run if he gets on. And he scored 2 runs today.
And he's not going to be able to get that one. That's down the line for at least a double. And he's going to take it a hat off, and he's going to easily get in third.
One of the things that any third base coach takes into consideration, and Joel Skinner is the third base coach, is not only the arm of the outfielder, but the arm of the cutoff man. And in this case, Chris Getz, who's played a very solid second base, doesn't have the biggest arm around. So you're running as much on the outfielder and the cutoff man as you can. And when he says, come on, he makes it all the way to third, now brings the infield in at all 4 positions.
Well, the biggest thing the third base coach looks for, and that is how far he goes out. As Crow takes ball 1. I remember when Ichiro first came up, Brett Boone was playing second base. Anything hit down in the corner like that, Fred Boone would just stay on the dirt.
You don't need a cutoff man with the arm of Ichiro.
And he would hit him with a strike every time. That ball hit deep into left center field. Scotty Pod's going to make the catch. Valbuena's going to score, and it goes back to a 3-run lead very quickly. 2 hitters. So Linebrink gives up his second run.
It's a nice catch by Posednik in center field because that ball was drifting away from him. There was really very little chance that Quentin was going to get there. And Posednik took a 2-base hit away. He's calling it. He lined it up, make the play. But it's a run batted in for Crow, his 9th.
So here's Marte. He's 2 for 3. Swinging bunt single. Knocked in a run back in the 5th. Then he ripped a single left in the 6th. One and one to count. I remember this big ball game in Seattle. Josh Paul was hitting for us. 1-1 ball game. And he hit one. Ichiro was playing not way over in the right center at all, but more or less straight away, maybe a couple steps to his right. Josh Paul hit one right down the line into the corner, and it was a 1-1 ball game. He races over, and Josh ran pretty good, for a catcher. So he's going around first. And you can see he's going to turn it on and try to go. So he's trying to, just leading off the inning, going to third base. Ichiro got it and threw a laser right to him. That Boone was, oh wow, get foul. It will, thank you very much. Right size, wrong shape. They're hitting some rockets off Scott. But anyway, he threw a laser right to Fred Boone. On the grass, on the dirt, turned around, just did nail him at third. That tried to come back, but it didn't get there.
A nice job of Mark Kotsay of giving that one every opportunity with the spin on the ball to spin back into fair territory, and it came an eyelash from doing that.
But we were talking about just how important that is. You take great right fielders, Clemente. Second baseman didn't have to go out.
Not when you have that kind of an arm. Who's the best arm you ever saw from right field?
A guy who was with the White Sox. Another one hit. Out of here, foul. He had the best arm I ever saw, Mike Hirschberg. And he hurt it. He hurt his elbow. We used to.
He was a natural right fielder?
Yeah. And we used to watch him. Everybody would come out in infield as that's fouled away just to watch him take infield. He would stand with his back against the wall in right field. Cuccinello would hit him, go out there and hit him the one hoppers. He'd come in, the ball would never get over 8 or 10 feet high and throw it all the way to third base. Then throw a couple all the way to home. Now, the most effective arm I've ever seen in right field was Dwight Evans.
I was going to say, Dewey Evans, yeah.
Because he threw strikes from anywhere. And there's ball 4.
I saw some great arms in doing all those years in the National League. Andre Dawson, Ellis Valentine, but best arm I saw from right field was a guy that probably nobody knows about because he never became a star. He was with San Francisco and later San Diego, and his name was Ollie Brown. He had a tremendous arm from the outfield. Throws would never get more than 4 feet off the ground, and that's going to be it for Scott Linebrink.
All right, Linebrink goes an inning and a third, gives up a couple of runs, and Marte his responsibility.
out here in the 8th inning, and the Tribe up by 3.
There's Wyatt Torregas. 1 for 2 with a couple of RBIs. Sacrifice fly and an soft infield single that knocked in a run. Ball gets away.
It's going to be wild pitch number 4, I believe, for Dotel. Throws a slider, and it's in the dirt and by AJ.
Almost another one.
And carbon copy of the first pitch.
Tigers have beaten Minnesota 8-7 at Comerica Park.
We picked up a game last night, and unless there's a big rally here, we'll lose it back.
Outfield straight up. And the count's 3-0.
Chris Perez loosening in the bullpen.
And a Bronx cheer comes up. $34,063 in attendance. And that's back through the middle. It's going to score a run. That'll be credited to Linebrink. He can close the book on Scott.
He's got an inning and a third, 3 runs on 3 hits. And the wild pitch comes back to bite Dotel, who actually gets a glove on this ball, but it's hit so hard he can't keep it in the infield.
(8-4). Cleveland lead. Well, when your bullpen gets stretched out, and you have a couple of starters in a couple of days that don't give you any innings, you're going to pay. You're going to pay the price.
Well, Dotel hasn't worked in this series, so he's one of the few guys down there that has not been overworked recently.
Well, he's had a tough go over lately.
Yes, he has. And again, it's control or lack thereof. But having to always fill the hole in the trade of Richard, who was a starter, there were probably 4, maybe as many as 5 games they had to cover. And we won the first 2 of those games.
And there's a base hit, a little flipper into left field. Sizemore on his way to second. Now he'll get caught in the pickle. And they get him. He saw the man at second base and had to pull up and try to go back.
Well, he took a real aggressive turn, which would have been fine, except for you got to realize that Torregas, a catcher, doesn't have real good speed. And all of a sudden he looks up and goes, well, wait a second, he's not going to third, so I'm going to be out, which he was. There's a break.
So here's Carroll, 2 for 4, 3 RBIs, a 2-run double and a solo homer. That coming leading off last inning. Well, a game like this can turn what could have been a great homestand into just a okay homestand.
We certainly figured it was going to be a big challenge against the Yankees and the Angels, and it was, and the Sox fared very well against them. Losing this series would be a disappointment.
Big time.
Indians have traded away 7 players in 6 deals, and yet they've still managed to play pretty decent baseball.
It seems like we played to the level of the competition.
Up or down.
Either way. I mean, we played to the level of our competition. And we did it a lot last year. Played to the level of our competition. Yeah, second division clubs, the clubs under 500, we did not fare well. We did not play well.
Well, that's good, because we got a dandy of a road trip coming up to Boston, New York, and Minnesota.
2-2. Well, that's still not a good moniker to have.
Nope. The theme for going to the playoffs was always hammer the bad teams and split with the good ones.
And a full count.
Dominate at home because it's very difficult to win on the road, especially in the American League.
Last few innings we have seen some full counts.
Yes.
High into left center. Carlos. But they put 2 more on the board. They make it tough, but we can get it done. We got 6 outs to get 5 runs.
But an outing where Contreras would have to go deep into this one. He didn't accomplish that, and it's a 4-run deficit. But the Indians have pounded out 14 hits. So they've been swinging the bat real well today as Chris Perez comes into this. On for the 13th time. 4.50 ERA. Acquired in the deal that brought Mark DeRosa to the St. Louis Cardinals and Perez to the Indians.
Beckham, Dye, and Konerko with AJ the 4th hitter. First pitch strike. Gordon 0 for 3 today. St. Louis beat Pittsburgh 7-3.
Don't know what Pujols has done today, but coming into today's action with the bases loaded, he's averaging over a double in at bat. That's pretty good. 5 grand slams.
And there's a line shot right to Chu. Well, that ball was hammered. That's a hang with him. 1 out. And it looks like the Nasty Nats, they're leading 6-2 late in that ball game. I think it's the 9th inning, trying to win their 8th in a row.
Well, maybe they'll keep Jim Riggleman around as a manager. He was named interim. done a nice job over there. The team is starting to play really good baseball, and they've been scoring a lot of runs.
Here's Jermaine. Jermaine is 0 for 3. Makes a good pitch on him outside corner. Texas leading the Angels 2-0 that game in the top of the 5th at the Big A in Anaheim.
It's been a good series. They've split 2 games so far.
He did not go. Tampa Bay leading Seattle 2-1 top of the 2nd. Now to Safeco.
And yesterday when Oka came in the game, it was a 4-run 5th.
Got that pitch in on him, and the count 1-2. Come on, JD, good 2-strike hitter. We need some base runners. Breaking ball. Jamie Carroll. 2 down. So from our first 4 hitters today, we have 1 hit. We're 1 for 15 so far.
Bottom part of the order has been pretty good again. They've had 4 of the hits, including a double, 2 runs batted in, and a homer, with Alexi Ramirez, the star, 3 for 3 with 2 driven in.
Paulie, 0 for 3. Now make it 0 for 4. So our first 4 hitters, 1 for 16, and we'll go to the 9th. Our White Sox minor league report: Charlotte lost 2-1. Jack Egbert pitched well. Birmingham, what new? 15-0. C.J. Rutherford 2 for 5, a double, 3 RBIs. Gallagher, a couple doubles. Viciedo 3 for 4, 3 RBIs. Winston-Salem 1-5-4. Sanchez, his 14th homer. C.J. Rutherford, all he does is barrel it up.
He drives in a lot of runs.
Better believe it.
For a guy that you wouldn't think would be a run producer.
Just by looking at him.
No.
He can hit. Buddy was talking to Buddy Bell, minor league farm director. Buddy said he can play anywhere and play it well. Second, third. He's just a baseball player. Cabrera with a 1-1 count. He's 1 for 3. Was robbed of extra bases on just a terrific play. One of a couple that Kotsay has made today. And if you missed them, poof, Mike Leary's got it for you right here.
It's been a good day with the leather. Very rarely see 5-3 on the tag play. 3-5 in that instance, and that time diving to the line to take away a double. Kotsay's been real good.
So here's Chu. He's 2 for 4. For our guys in the ninth, it'll be Pierzynski, Quentin, Kotsay, Alexei, Getz, Besednik, Beck, Dye, Konerko. That's all we got. Got to run with it.
Kerry Wood in what is to this point a non-save situation. Tomooka, bring him in.
Don't be hard on Tomo. He had a bad day yesterday.
No, he did. I would certainly not wish him any lack of success.
Rephrase that.
But bring him in.
Bring him in. Bring him on.
Yeah. He might rebound.
That's trouble. Can't cut it off. So that's going to be at least 3. Chu picks up his 4th 3-bagger. Single, a double, and triple in this game. Also a stolen base. Infield in for Alta. Fouls that back. Oh, and 2. This is the 15th game. Got 3 more with them. I guess that's plenty of time. He gone. 2 down.
Slider by Dotel. And Peralta, who's had a good day, goes down on strikes. Pulls off that ball.
Here's Valbuena. He's 2 for 4 with 3 runs scored. He's had 2 good games. 2 for 4 with an RBI last night. Hits that ball right at Jermaine. And that'll retire the side. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. 8-4 bad guys. It appears as we trail at 8-4, unless we can come up with a lot of runs off this guy out here, Stone. It's going to be a 6-4 homestand.
A disappointing climax to what started out to be a terrific homestand. And Kerry Wood, in a non-save situation, comes in at 2-3. ERA 4.85, on for the 43rd time. He's got 15 saves this year in 20 opportunities, 43 strikeouts in 39 innings. He pitched in the first game of the series. That game also in the 9th inning in a non-save situation. Gave up a hit, but no runs.
Oh, 6'5" Texan. He's got AJ, Quentin, and Kotze. Takes ball 1, does Pierzynski. And the count 1-1. Rockies leading the Cubs 5-2. Top of the 6th in Denver. Top of the 5th at the Big A in Anaheim. 3-0 Texas. And that is in the LG Skyline Club seats.
Yeah, guy almost got hit in the back of the head on the carom.
Better than the alternative.
You got to be careful up there. Good seats, though. Good place to watch a game.
They'll come back on the breaking ball. So here's Carlos. Carlos has walked, scored, singled, and popped up to center. He's 1 for 2.
Let's go, Carlos.
Want to know the count. And that 94-mile-an-hour fastball is foul. Breaking ball, base hit. Let's get some tallies right here. Even if we come up short, let's give them a finish.
This is not a bad breaking ball. Doesn't have real quick break to it. So Carlos drives it in. Drives into left field. His second hit of the game. He's 2 for 3.
Kotze. He has had a good day. Swung the bat well, thrown a lot of leather. Didn't like that call. And the count 1-1. Houston sets out Milwaukee. Gallardo 2-0. And the count 2-1 to Mark. Stay on top of him, 30.
Let's go, Kotze.
Back through the middle. Attaboy, Mark. He has hit it right on the money 3 times today.
Katsay 2 for 4, but actually should have a better day than that as he rifles it by Kerry Wood, who tries to use his feet to knock it down to no avail.
Well, that was not, he didn't have his whole heart into it.
That would have been a good ankle burger.
Sounds like a Secretary of State.
Close.
1-0 the count to Alexei, who is 3 for 3. RBI single and a homer. He has 2 RBIs. He now has 49 to go along with his 12 long ones. So all of a sudden now we got the tying run on deck.
And although it would be a save situation now, if Kerry had just come into the game, you can't pitch yourself into a save situation.
I remember when you could, and it was awful.
Yeah.
Big rip underneath it. Yeah, we used to get so hot at some of our guys, as every team did. They would come in and create themselves a nice save situation.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way anymore, but a couple of base hits here, things could get pretty interesting.
One out, 1-1 to count. Stay with him. Stay with him, Alexei. Well, welcome.
It's a long way to come for a ball game.
Juan Fregales out of the class. Just got a piece of it. Comey has come out on deck to hit for Chris Getz.
You got to figure that Wood's going to go to his wipeout slider. That's what he feels is the most consistent pitch for a strike.
Breaking ball, frozen. That was more of a slurve right there.
Quick break on it, though, and it buckled the knees of Ramirez, and he just took it.
So here's Big Jim. Big Jim sitting on 562 home runs. There's 21 for the season. Takes it inside. There's a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, and it looked every inch of it.
Well, he used to do that routinely up to about 98. Real easy. And tremendous late movement. A few surgeries later, he's still got the velocity, doesn't have quite the same movement, but he still has a terrific breaking ball.
Have some gas. That one at 94, and the count 1-2. So we're down to our last bullet. 2 on, 2 out, trailing by 4 here in the bottom of the 9th. And that'll do it. The rubber match goes by the boards as we used 4 pitchers. Contreras started